This month, ELFCO TV takes a closer look at the growing food truck movement in the greater Lansing area. Driving around town, it doesn't take long to notice that the restaurant scene in East Lansing is the same as it is in every other American city. Chain restaurants and corporate eateries dot the landscape. Many of these restaurants have something in common. The food that they serve is not grown locally. Additionally, it's rarely limited to that which is in season. Now more than ever, people are asking the question, where does our food come from? In response to this growing awareness of the value of foods that are produced locally, folks are beginning to visit farmers markets and food co-ops in record numbers. In fact, a study released in August 2011 reveals that in the last 10 years, the number of farmers markets in Michigan has expanded from 90 to 336. Built around this philosophy of sustainability, there's an exciting new food alternative gaining momentum in the Lansing area. Trucks like the Purple Carrot, Trailer Park, and Oasis provide the community with a delicious alternative that was once only available in big cities. Amid the hum of the generators that power these mobile kitchens, I had a chance to learn more about the concept of slow, fast food.
My name is Nina Santucci, and I am a co-owner of the Purple Carrot food truck. So the Purple Carrot is a food truck, and we specialize in cooking with all local food, produce, eggs, cheese, meat, really anything that we can get our hands on. If it's made or grown in Michigan, we will use it. And we specialize in seasonal food. We do breakfast, we do brunch, we do lunch, and we do a tapas dinner once a week. The tapas dinner is really kind of our creative outlet. We do all small plates, so it's not necessarily traditional Spanish tapas, but just kind of a play on the small plate idea. And we normally have 8 to 10 different items on any given night. They range from $4 to $7 a plate, and it's meant to be able to sample a wide range of flavors and share with friends. And we do that usually here at the Hannah Center. We'll park at the other end of the parking lot. There's lots of cooking tables, and we've had music before. It's just kind of a fun way to kind of see some different things that we don't normally do on our lunch and brunch menu. So we have a lot of creative freedom with the menu. A lot of things are deconstructed, and you'll see some different types of cooking techniques that don't necessarily translate well on a sandwich, but when you have kind of a small plate, you can really have fun with the food. It's pretty cool because almost anything we put on the menu has gotten great responses. We a couple weeks ago had a big surplus of radishes and didn't know what to do with them, and decided to make vegan radish bisque. And basically Tony has the ability to just throw things together off the top of his head, which is awesome, and it always tastes incredible. So I didn't know, radish bisque, I've never had it. Is that going to be any good? And it's vegan, so if it's not that good, you can't cover it up with different flavors. You really got to let the vegetables shine, and it was fantastic. I mean, the balance of flavors was so good, and I was so pleasantly surprised with how many people not only ordered it but loved it. And I just think that speaks really highly for the customers we have, is that they trust us and will order anything, and and have always been really positive with their reactions, which is great for us, because I think one of our biggest worries about coming to Michigan was that it doesn't have the culinary scene that some of the big cities we've lived in have, and we don't want to dumb down our food and make it a little bit basic, and we haven't had to do that at all. And that's been the most rewarding for us, that we can really kind of do anything, and people appreciate it, and they like it, and they come back for more. It's awesome. It's been good. So we opened on May 6th, so a little bit over 2 months now. The two of us have been working in fine dining restaurants since we were able to work, as high school students. and have both had such a love and passion for the food industry. And we decided to open up a restaurant, and we decided to do it in Michigan. This is my hometown state, so Tony, my partner, is from the East Coast, and so I brought him back to the Midwest with me. And we originally were going to do a restaurant, and still that's definitely something that's in our future, but we thought that a food truck would be just a really fun way to, and less risky way, to introduce ourselves and our culinary perspective to the community. And we've been super pleased with the beginning stages of everything. So the hope is that one day when we do open a restaurant, we now have a group of people who know us and will hopefully follow us to a restaurant, but will still allow us to continue to run the food truck from the restaurant, which one day my dream is to have several different restaurant concepts, all under the same family. I've always worked in the front of the house, so I help with a lot of the baking and little side jobs, but the main brains behind the food is Tony. He went to culinary school in Pittsburgh right out of high school, and pretty much since then has climbed up the culinary ladder, working in different restaurants across the country. I think he has a lot of French in his background. He's worked at some French restaurants, and he's definitely a friend of butter and cream, as the French tend to be. But he's also worked at most places that have been using seasonal ingredients. He lived in Texas, working at a kind of Austin, Texas staple, which specialized in a lot of smoked food, really big, bold Texas flavors. He's worked in Philadelphia and Washington, D.C., and kind of brings a little bit of all the different areas, combines it all into the food that we're able to serve here. So, definitely you'll see some Asian influences, some Indian influences, some Latin influences, American classic sandwiches. Really could be anything, with a little bit of a spin. For example, today we're calling it the Italian Rocky, and it's kind of our take on a classic Philadelphia favorite sandwich, which is a pork sandwich with rapini and cheese on a hoagie roll. So we get mango leaves of pork in from Michigan, slow roasted it with Italian seasoning, and then we got some organic rapini, which is sauteed with garlic, and some red chili flakes, and then we topped it with dolce vita goat cheese. And it's pretty awesome. It's fun to take something that we love and miss from Philadelphia and kind of be able to create it here and share it with the people of Michigan.
It sounds like you are living the dream.
We are. It's definitely stressful to get everything to the way you want it, but it's definitely nice not working for anyone else,
Sure.
Being your own boss, getting able to do what you want to do.
Really impressed with the menu.
Thank you.
It's artistic.
Yeah, that's it. There's a lot of components with everything, so it's not, when we prep it, it's pretty in-depth and it takes some time to do. But people are appreciating it, which makes it worth it,
We're kind of lucky when we started the food truck in that there's been enough buzz kind of around the country with all the different big cities who have really gotten the food truck scene kind of revitalized in the past couple of years. And I think that a lot of people here have seen them on TV and have heard about them, and so it's kind of this exciting thing that we finally have one here in Michigan. And I kind of always relate it to when you're a kid and you go up to an ice cream truck. There's something about the ice cream truck being in your neighborhood. You get so excited about it. And I think this is like the adult version of that. You still get to go up to the truck and it's, fun, bright colors, but you're not getting a, ice cream cone that when a kid, that was what, really got you excited. You're getting some delicious gourmet treat, which I think is kind of the adult version of the, the same concept.
Hey man, this is great. Everybody ought to stop by and get this. Gourmet fast food in a minute.
How long have you guys been doing this?
About 2 months. About 2.5 months now, yeah. May 11th was our first day of service, so we're
you get the idea? What?
Basically, we want to open our own restaurant. This is the smallest investment that we can make. Start cooking our own food, building our own clientele, get a little buzz, you know, so we can hopefully transform into brick and mortar, and then start taking this to like pinpoint locations around the city on certain days of the week. So basically, we got tired of working for the man. So this is our way to start our own business. And
You guys use a lot of local ingredients?
yeah, everything's local. All of our pork, beef, chicken, when we use turkey, even our shrimp when we use that is local from Oasis. Almost all of our ingredients come from Oasis Organics or Giving Tree Farms or Slow Lane Farms and a couple other producers around the area. All of our beef is from Lonesome Pines out of Nashville. There's nothing that we don't use. That's even our bottles of water are from Novi.
You know, the number one concept is that we're all local food. So that's kind of where the menu starts. As far as what we're going to do with that food, it could really be anything. You know, we definitely work with local farmers who are practicing humane farming practices. So almost all of our produce, while not necessarily certified organic, the growers practice organic farming. So if anyone knows anything about being certified organic, it's very expensive, and when you're working with small farmers, it's just not feasible for them to get that certification, but they still, you know, everything that they do is the same thing if they were certified. So we visit almost all the farms that we buy from and really see what their operation is like, and same with our meats. It's all, you know, hormone-free, free-range, free-roaming, grass-fed, whatever, you know, is the kind of the right nature of the animal. You know, they're all, you know, living happy lives, and so that's kind of where the product starts. And pretty much every week we get a list of produce from the different farmers we work with, and that's how we create our menus. So once we know what's in season that week, we create different menus, and it's, you know, trying to use the best quality ingredients and really bring new, unique flavors that maybe people haven't been exposed to, and you know, taking something that might be somewhat familiar and putting whatever our spin is on it to kind of bring something new and exciting to the area. Our main produce person is a couple, Adam and Drew from 10 Hens Farm in Bath, Michigan. And they've been the ones that we've worked with since before we opened. So we told them, you know, things that we knew were going to be on our menu that they planted for us. And then beyond that, you know, things that they normally plant. So they're pretty much the ones that we base our menus around. So whatever they have, everything they grow is absolutely gorgeous. And, you know, starting with those raw ingredients makes for pretty great menu items. So they're definitely kind of our go-to. Then all the people who we get our meat and our cheese and our eggs from are pretty standard. You know, it's nice. The good thing about the produce is that it's always changing, but the good thing about the meat is that it's always the same. So I know that I can count on getting free-range chicken every single week, and that makes, you know, part of our jobs a little bit easier. We just started getting fish from, my family has a farm up in Traverse City, so cherry season's right around the corner, so my parents are back and forth between here and Traverse City pretty regularly, which has worked out really wonderfully for us because we're able to get, kind of extend our produce life up to Traverse City. So they've hooked up with one of the Indian fishermen up there, and they'll meet him at the dock. They'll bring the fish that he just caught, gut them, and they'll bring them back down here, and we serve them the next day. I mean, it's pretty much about as fresh as you can get it. And, you know, obviously when it's out of the water 12 hours ago, I mean, you just can't ask for better fish. So that's been great. I'm pretty excited for the cherries that are going to be coming in a couple weeks. So we're going to have to definitely do a day full of cherries on our menu because we've got a lot of them coming from up in Traverse City. 10 Hens is the big one. Spartan Country Meats is where we get our chicken from. We get some greens, salad greens, some of the hardier greens from Wildflower Eco Farms. I think they sell at the East Lansing Food Co-op also.
The Throops.
Yes. And we use someone from Grand Ledge. It's veggies from the ledges. Also salad greens. Salad greens is something that we can't get enough of. So we've got probably 5 different farmers who we get salad greens through. On days that we're at the farmer's market, it's pretty much the best because anytime we run out of anything, we can just run out to a vendor. And I'm like, can you guys just follow us around every day? This would really be fantastic. So especially the past couple of weeks, I mean, the farmer's markets have really, it's the first few weeks, you know, it was all lettuce and kale. And now we're seeing berries, blueberries, raspberries, squash, tomatoes are finally starting to come in. It's pretty fun, you know, seeing as things kind of evolve. So we'll, you know, pretty much go to almost any vendor in the farmer's market and can get, you know, it's just a variety of different produce and things. And that's pretty fun. That's one of our most fun days is when we can just be with the people whose food we're selling. And it's pretty cool. The tacos and one of the cake snacks. And then to go back, please. Oh, the carrot.
What are your thoughts on these kids doing this?
I think it's wonderful. They're very creative, very energetic, and they're going to do really, really well.
They seem like they're having fun.
They're having a lot of fun. Yeah, they are. It's fun watching all the people come to the truck and their reactions and just kind of the buzz about town. And they've gotten so much press and publicity. It's really positive. It's good for the Lansing area. It's good for the whole food scene in general. It's great.
So have you eaten at the Purple Carrot before?
This is my first time at the Purple Carrot, in part because of the fact that they're downtown. So I work down here, and my wife has been singing their praises quite a bit because she goes there when they're in Old Town. But this is my first chance trying it, and it's really excellent.
Hey, how's it? I saw you the other day at the Purple Carrot a couple weeks ago.
Hey, I love the food trucks.
Yeah, you like these guys too, huh?
Oh, absolutely. Best burger in town, actually.
Nice.
Good stuff.
In your opinion, what do you think of trailer parks?
It's great. My wife and I sort of stumbled upon it, and I think the Allen Street Market came upon it, and we've tried a number of things. We've had the burger, the tacos. I've had the barbecue, which I thought was great. So pretty much I try to try something new every time I go, just to sort of see what they cook up next. So.
What excites you about something like this?
The ballin' ass tacos. It's the fact that they use chorizo. They actually call it chorizo as opposed to like some places which will call it Mexican sausage or spicy sausage. They use the real name, so I'm pretty excited about that. Yeah, pretty good.
What's the crowd favorite here?
Probably the ballin' ass tacos. I don't think we've sold a taco to a person that we haven't seen multiple times, so people really like it. I mean, the name's funny, but you know the tacos are really good. So we grind we have chorizo ground to our specs, and then we spice it ourselves. And it comes with a mole verde, which we smoke the tomatillos and the garlic and the poblanos and the jalapenos, and then add a little bit of cilantro and lime to that, and blend it. Queso fresco, some supreme lime, just lime segments, so it gives you that burst, that pop inside of there, and some organic cilantro. We double wrap it taqueria style. So the chorizo is really spicy, but everything else kind of cools it down and refreshes it. And then you get that smokiness from the mole, so it's real good palate pleaser all across the board. So.
Do you have any sort of background in cooking?
Yeah, I've cooked for my entire life, but I'm most recently from Salt of the Earth in Fenville. It's a rustic American eatery and bakery over by Saugatuck. I worked in Detroit at Opus One, where I was executive sous chef for about 2.5 years. In high school, I worked at the Old English Inn in Eaton Rapids. Just moved around the state, worked at a lot of good restaurants. Ben's originally from Muskegon. He just graduated from MSU in business hospitality. He worked at the State Room for about 3.5, 4 years, and then he worked also over at Salt of the Earth for a summer as well. So yeah, just trying to learn our craft in a bunch of different kitchens, other than going to culinary school. You know, it is what you make it.
So cool that you guys use local ingredients, and it's like you're keeping it in the community.
Yep. That's the biggest part of our business is, I mean, the economy in Michigan sucks, you know, and it's like when you buy food at a chain grocery store, like 90%, well 70% of those dollars are leaving our state. You know, if you buy from local farmers, and all of those dollars virtually are staying here. So, you know, figure start the smallest place possible, and, you know, keep everything in the community and work together. And, you know, in return, the community will hopefully help support us. So.
I read on your website that
you know,
Michigan is second only to California in agricultural diversity. What's up with that?
Similar to California, and it allows us to grow a really broad range of goods. And, you know, a state like, say, Minnesota or Indiana, you know, also farm states like Michigan don't have that luxury. And in Michigan, the diversity of products, I mean, it's enormous. Like it says, second to California. And I would imagine if you were to list out the products, we probably wouldn't be too far behind California. So as far as cooking goes, we couldn't ask for a better painter's palette to begin with. There's, you know, we've got a state full of farmers, and they're growing everything. They grow beans, they grow, you know, livestock, they grow vegetables, fruits. I mean, we have so much happening in this state, and we just, you know, we can get rid of some of it, but we need to keep it in the state because there's a lot of products I think that grow here that people don't know come from Michigan. I mean, we all know cherries, you know, obviously we know Michigan cherries. There's a fruit called pawpaws which come out in the fall, and it's like a green mango or green papaya, and it's the only place you can get it in the United States is here in Michigan. You know, there's these crazy things that happen with the climate that we've been given, and, you know, all the lakes and things like that. And they've created a pretty good landscape for lots of produce.
Check out this pork belly. Some smoked garlic, we'll dehydrate that for garlic powder. And then this is a smoked pork belly that we're going to do with some cowboy beans. Basically bacon, uncured bacon, but we put a barbecue spice on it, so.
Wow.
Should be pretty amazing.
You had a picture of you were grinding up some.
This guy was grinding some.
Grinding some spiced garlic.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
We're using that on our soup, which
we use that on a lot of different finish with it.
We originally did it because we had a vintage carnival that we did with the Purple Carrot a couple 3 weeks ago now.
Yeah.
And we have a fryer, but we can't use it unless we're hooked up to a different power source. So we wanted to do fries, and we didn't have time to cut our own fries. So we were thinking, how can we buy fries and not be selling out? So we did this 3-day-long garlic process that we dusted the fries with some oregano and stuff like that to try and made our own smoked tomato ketchup. So we're like, okay, this isn't this isn't processed food at this point, you know. So just trying to.
That's so awesome.
Early in season yet, so we're like, oh, they really want fries. How do we make this fit our concept? But
yes.
So.
Trailer parked in one word.
One word. I just have to say integrity.
Trailer parked in one word.
Real. I mean, basically, we just try to. We worked in, like I said, we worked in a lot of restaurants around the state. And I've worked in, you know, some restaurants that spend $50 a plate. And basically, the whole idea of opening this business is we wanted to cook for people like us. And we wanted to cook for people that we could relate to. So we wanted to be all about the food and not about the pretension, hence the name Trailer Park. So the slow fast food is we want to give people a different option to Arby's or McDonald's or Applebee's and all these corporate places that are doing things the entirely wrong way and ruining our economy and our infrastructure, food as a whole. So that brings us back to the word integrity is, you know, the integrity of our ingredients, the integrity of our sources, and the integrity of the way we treat that food once we get it. Like, we use whole animals. We don't just order a case of tenderloins and then, you know, you order a case of tenderloins, there's eight, that's 4 cows that had to die just for you to serve a tenderloin, you know. We get, you know, halves of cows and get them broken down to our specs. Same with our hogs, and it's just, you know, cooking the way you're supposed to, you know, using everything from the bones to and nose to tail. We'll hopefully get there once we can get onto the STFU and get into some brick and mortar, so we can start getting making some head cheeses and some charcuterie and stuff like that. So, but yeah, that's the gist. Sustainability, obviously, the biggest part is we try to use things that are in season, and the things that we do use a lot of preservation techniques as far as pickling and curing and smoking and things like that, so that you know, a couple generations ago, we didn't have all this processed nasty stuff that you could buy in cans and boxes in the store. We had to eat off the land and figure out how to survive. That's a big foundation of what our food is you know, eat tomatoes when tomatoes are supposed to be here. You know, you don't eat tomatoes in December. Like, it just doesn't happen. So
Asparagus in November.
Exactly. So you know, and that's not when God intended for the food to be here anyway. So it's just and then finding those processes to preserve that food and respect the integrity of that ingredient throughout the season. You know, whether it's potting or pickling or canning or, you know, and just doing things the right way. That's what we try to do. So.
Well, hopefully, you know, you guys doing what you're doing gets people to the point where not only are they trying new things, but they realize, you know, I don't have to have asparagus in February. I don't.
Yeah, because it's really good in the end of May. You know, it's like the asparagus in February tastes like junk.
And it's good to have the variety.
Yeah, most definitely.